Welcome to the third episode of Court Helicopter, a special edition coming today, the Tuesday, from Milimani Law Courts, where I'm seated on the bar, where I was admitted on the 4th of November 2011. What is the topic? A license to practice for an advocate is called a practicing certificate. Let us see what that means and how can you know this advocate has a practicing certificate. After admission, an advocate is given a practicing certificate that starts from 1st of January to 31st of December. The license for an advocate to practice is a license for 1 year. Like this year, I have a license to practice called a practicing certificate. It will expire on 31st of December 2025. For me to get a practicing certificate for next year, I must attend continual CPD trainings. I must go for trainings. These trainings, I must get 5 points. The trainings are conducted by the Law Society of Kenya. The trainings cover new areas of law, new developments of law, new skills of practice, new directives, and therefore to keep an advocate abreast with the changes of practice and the law, one must attend the CPD trainings for 5 to get 5 points. After you have gotten 5 points, at the end of the year, you will apply to have a practicing certificate for the year that is coming. How do you know that an advocate is active? If you want to know a licensed advocate, you go to the Law Society of Kenya website, click into the portal, that is the LSK search engine. You will get a portal where it says you put the name of that advocate you want to search, or you put his practicing number. That search engine will bring you whether they will get the following details. 1, the full names of that advocate. 2, his admission number. 3, his office where he or she is practicing. 4th, and very critical, whether he has a valid practicing certificate. That is, you'll see, when somebody has a valid practicing certificate in the portal, it will show active. If one doesn't have a practicing certificate for that year, it will show inactive. Anybody you check and you find is inactive, then don't waste your money getting that person to represent you. If today I am active, I don't comply by going to training, the CPD points, to get them 5, next year my portal will read inactive. I am an advocate, but I'm not authorized to practice law for that year. So that is the most critical issue that Court Helicopter News now tells you. You can do a search. In motor vehicles, you go to NTSA website. You check the details of the motor vehicle registration. In lands, you go to Avisasa. You check the details of the land registration. In marriages, you go to the website of the Registrar of Marriages. So today, Court Helicopter has told you, don't be conned, don't be cheated by people who are quacks, pretending to be advocates. Go to the website, check whether that person is active, then give him or her your money to represent you. Otherwise, you will fall into that category. Number 5, in this question of practice, how is the law society, how are lawyers ranked? People have had a senior counsel, people have had who is who. This is the order of seniority as provided for in the law society, in the Advocates Act. The senior-most advocate in this country is called the Attorney General. That is advocate number 1. Advocate number 2 is the Director of Public Prosecution. Advocate number 3 is the Solicitor General. Solicitor General. Advocates number 4 are those advocates called senior counsels. Advocate number 4 is the President of the Law Society of Kenya. That position of the President of the Law Society of Kenya gives that office 4th in command of advocates. Advocate number 5 are senior advocates called senior counsels conferred by the President. They apply for that job, they go for the interview. One must have practiced for over 15 years. So for me, I cannot apply to be a senior counsel until next year. The President of the Republic of Kenya is the one who confers those titles, and they are called senior counsels. All these I've said, whenever the Attorney General, the DPP, the Solicitor General, the President of the Law Society of Kenya, or a senior counsel is in court, by law, they are supposed to address the court earlier. Then the other advocates in seniority, according to when they signed the roll, when were they admitted. All advocates who are admitted after me are my junior advocates. They will call me senior. Any advocate who was admitted ahead of me is my senior. And that is why we respect seniority in the legal practice. So mark my words. And by law, a senior will buy tea for a junior advocate. If an advocate who is senior walks to a restaurant and finds a junior advocate, the bill will be paid by the senior advocate, because by law, a junior cannot buy tea to a senior advocate. And a senior must always mentor the young advocates by buying them tea. That is the etiquette of being an advocate in Kenya. Third issue. How do we deal with foreign advocates? The law provides that advocates must be Kenyan advocates. But also by the law, advocates admitted in Uganda, in Tanzania, in Burundi, in Rwanda, in Uganda, are allowed by law to practice in Kenya. But us, in Kenya, we are not allowed as advocates to go to practice in those countries. What will be the procedure if a foreign advocate comes here other than those countries? That foreign advocate or the Queen's Bench advocate must come, apply to the Law Society of Kenya. They can be given an aptitude test. They can be trained for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, to a maximum of 3 months for them to have a special license to practice here. If I want to go also to practice in Tanzania, the way you saw Mother Karua were denied In Uganda, you must apply to the Law Society of that country, for that Law Society of Kenya, Law Society of those countries to allow you to practice. That is on the question of a practicing certificate. Wakili Danstan Omari, don't be represented by fake people. We are going to deal with the last episode that deals with how do you discipline rogue advocates. Wakili Danstan Omari, asante.